All right, nieces and nephews, welcome back to the Uncle Bogator channel. We're going to be I got this little cloth here. We're going to be fighting with a fogging up lens for a little while until this thing gets warmed up. But we're finally back. Huh. Big sigh. Finally back with motorcycle content too. I've been posting a lot of pictures on Instagram. Follow me over there, barbecuing, and I don't know if I've been doing guitar stuff or not, but yeah, we're back. So if you were here last time, you know that we just moved. We just bought a new house. And everything's been going great. I've got the garage. I know it looks crowded. It's not really. I mean, the bikes that we ride are going to be there. Then I've got a special place over here for my lift and my tools. I do plan on getting a bigger toolbox and a little workbench. But for now, we're going to work with what we got. All right, we have great news. I have great news. We have great news. If you've been following along since January, that was 6 months ago, I think, oh God, I don't have any wood to knock on, but we may be wrapping up the Fat Bob saga today. Again, if you've been following along, you'll already know this, but if it's your first time, my wife and I have both shattered our pulley bolts on our bikes on the same day back in January. And I sold a yellow Dyna that I had, bought some brand new custom wheels from DNA Specialty or whatever they're called. I don't recommend ordering wheels from them, by the way. And the hub widths are different than the hub widths that come on stock motorcycles. The rear hub was wider than stock. The front hub is narrower than stock. So I had to go to a machine shop and get a spacer cut down for the rear. Which causes the rear wheel now to sit offset just a hair. It's straight, it's just sitting offset to account for that difference in the spacer. And the front hub is 1 1/8 inch narrower than the original. So I had to get special spacers made for the axles. And then I just got this has been one of the big delays here. These are rotor spacers. So I got to make up for that extra 9/16 on both sides because it's a dual front brake deal, and those are 1/2 inch spacers. We're 1/16 of an inch off, and what we're banking on is that the rotor is going to float. I could be sorely mistaken. Knowing my luck, I've miscalculated that completely. These were like $25 a piece. If I order custom 9/16 spacers, they're going to be $68 a piece. So I'm hoping these work. If not, then I'll be out this money, plus I'll be ordering the correct 9/16 size. And then lastly, to accommodate for all of that, I had to get longer rotor bolts. Thankfully, we have like a dedicated bolt shop here in town. Who knew? I've never seen a bolt shop before. We have one in DeLand. It's a small town. There's not a lot here. There's not even a Home Depot here. But we have a bolt shop. So they were able to accommodate my 5/16 thread by 1 1/4 inch length. But first thing I got to do is get these rotors off and put the new spacers on. I'm worried. I don't like hex bits, hex heads, whatever they are, and they're red Loctited in there. I did get one out, but I'm always scared I'm going to strip them. And knowing my luck, that's exactly what's going to happen. So without further ado, let's actually get wrenching on this thing. Fingers crossed, this is it, boys. All right, you guys get free feet. Also, I don't know how well you can see. You see all these bites? Your old uncle's fat and out of shape. And I had the bright idea one day to go out and get exercise, and I got eat up by ticks. I'm actually on antibiotics for them. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to use the lift today. Well, I'm going to use it as a work table when I put the new rotors on. I got to elevate the front wheel, and I know I can put the bike on the lift, strap it down a certain way, and then whatever. It makes me nervous. Oh, that red Loctite doing its job, man. I'm just going to break all these loose. All right, we're going to take both sides of these off, and then I'll see you guys when I put this wheel up on the stand on the lift here and start putting the new ones on. All right, now through the magic of editing, I already set the expectation that you weren't going to see me till now anyway. But through the magic of editing, I actually had to take this wheel over to a local motorcycle shop because wouldn't you know it, I was stripping out these heads. So what we're going to do, because I've already had to do this a couple times, Here's my spacers that I ordered from, let me get the package. Vulcan Engineering, they're out of New Hampshire. These things are 25 bucks a piece. They're 1/2-inch spacers. They will make custom spacers for you. I ordered these on Wednesday and they were out for delivery on Friday, so pretty fast. What I'm gonna do, because I've already done this a couple times, is we're not gonna torque these until this thing's on the bike. Because I don't want to strip them out again. You know what I mean? So we're going to get these on. I am going to drive them down just a hair. Well, actually, I'm going to drive them down. I'm just not going to torque them. Are these still 3/16? They're still 3/16. When I called the guy at the shop, local shop here, the guy I normally go to doesn't open till 10:30. It was 9 in the morning when we did that. So I went to Sled's East. I'm going to tell you, I was really impressed with that shop in general. Yeah, we're just putting these down, and then we'll torque them when they're on the bike. He even commented, he's like, oh, are you using a T40? Like, no, it's a 3/16. He goes, man, that's awful small for a rotor. Like, I agree. I told him I ordered from DNA and I would never do it again. He said, yep, heard that a lot. So not only is this shop, it sounds like I'm selling this shop, but not only is this shop like a repair shop, whatever, but they do custom stuff there too. If you follow my Instagram, I had a story there where I showed some of their bills. Anyway, we're gonna get both these sides on. I'm gonna see if I can't get the front end of that motorcycle up in the air. Yep. Well, that looks good, don't it? Then we'll start working on pulling the old components off. How about that? All right, boys, here we go. I got the front wheel off. I probably have to lower it down when I go to loosen the torque on the axle nut. All right, so if you've never done these before, you hear my old man grunt there. These little axle nut bolt cover, whatever they are, they've got these little, it's too big. They got these little Allen screws on the bottom. That should be it. Yeah, that's it. I swear to God, man, I can't stand Allen bits. I just can't stand them. I think they should be outlawed. Just put Torx on everything. You get so much more grip with a Torx, man. So we definitely have to get the middle out there, and those are 12-point. Why wouldn't they be 12-point? I don't have a whole lot of 12-point tools. I got a feeling this is going to be a trip to Lowe's, boys. What do we think that is? 1/2 inch, 9/16, 7/16. I'm pulling them all out. We're pulling them all out. Let's see. Yep, there it is, 10 millimeter. I am going to lower this jack down. We definitely need those two out and that one out. Maybe. Basically, I'm doing what I can to not have to deal with that. Let's see if I have a 12-point 10 millimeter socket. I highly doubt it. Well, I'll be goddamned, I do have one. Well, you can't be a fat boy and be working out in the garage with no fan on or nothing. You know what I mean? I know there's a lot of big boys watching my channel. I've seen your shirt orders. All right, let's see if I can strip these out. That's the bad thing about 12-point. Let's see what happens now. Easy game. I don't want to get too cocky. Yeah, dude, hell yeah. All right, last thing we're going to do while I have this thing up, we're going to take this nut off. It is bigger than a 22, probably a 24, which I think is a, I think it's a 7/8. All right, here's a 24. How about that? It's almost like I've worked on shit before. Not that I'm any good at it, but I've done it. All right, we got to hold this axle still. There we go. There we go. Okay. I mean, judging by the way they're moving around here, I'm probably going to have to bleed these pistons back, though, to get them on the new rotors. I want you guys to notice another difference between the stock wheels and the new wheels that I got. Not only is the hub wrong. Yeah, I can get that off. But look, I want you to look and see how this wheel here has this rounded edge. Well, the new wheels don't do that. You know what's funny? We're going to hang this up. I bought this string when I was doing forks on my Goldwing. That brake line is just connected by a little, there's like a 90-degree elbow up there. So we're going to hook it to the handlebars up here. Shouldn't be banging on anything. I was absent the day they taught knots in Boy Scouts, apparently. All right, that ain't gonna bang on nothing. I feel real confident with that there. All right, we're getting somewhere. All right, I got all these off. I got the little pinch bolt. So there's only one pinch bolt down there. That was interesting. Let's get my little, I don't have a rubber mallet anymore, so we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. Just fucking beat it to death with a hammer. I'll bring a rag over. I'm not that savage. And we're going to get this little 3-pound sledge here. Okay, here we go. There we go, boys. There's an axle. All right, we should be able to lift this lift up here. It should come right out. Should. There's a lot of shoulds going on today, right? There it goes. All right, good. Good. Bring this wheel. Now I'm going to have to pay attention to what side the tire is on. It's supposed to go which way. Should give me a little arrow. Rotation that way. Here's these custom spacers I had made. We're about to find out if I measured right. Might be a little off. Of course I might be a little off. Why wouldn't I? Well, let's what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn the camera off, take a little break. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit and put some new axle grease on there before I slide that back in there. But well, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Getting a little nervous. You got it, boys. All right, boys. I was gonna switch up the angle, but I think this one's okay. We got the axle cleaned up. I had it more clean, and then I shoved it back in there a little bit just to make sure it was the right diameter. It's tight, but it's an axle. It's supposed to be. I'm concerned about this missing pinch bolt on the bottom of the fork. So I'll be ordering another one of those. Ain't no telling how long it's been riding around without the damn thing. We're just going to put some of this. I just use this anti-seize lubricant from Permatech. That's fine for axle grease. I mean, I've got a little dab of axle grease somewhere, like actual axle grease. My hands are sweaty, so this is difficult. Get this on here real good. I actually should have got a paper or something. There we go. Stinks. All right, let's get these off. Maybe this. I feel like that's pretty centered, man. It definitely goes in there. Yeah. Well, we're going to keep with this. I'm going to keep messing around until I think I got it. I know it goes in because off camera, I took the wheel back out of the placement here to make sure it goes in. You know what I mean? I'm going to fight with this off camera. We'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, boys, welcome back. It is 2 days later, and I thought I was going to have great news today, but it is more delay. Once again, I may have led off this video with these words. I'm not sure. I should have. If you know me, I will encounter problems. And I like to do, what do they call, like the howitzers, where you overshoot, you undershoot, and you get right in the middle. That's what I've done on these spacers. First of all, I had to take those spacers. I called the guy who made them originally for me, and he said, yeah, I'm going to get a haircut and lunch, and then I'll call you this afternoon, and I can bore those out for you. Okay, no problem. Never called me back. I tried to call him twice. He's just not answering his phone, so that kind of pissed me off. Well, I found another machinist, took it over there today, and man, that first machinist, Wilder Machine, if you guys are local, maybe he does great work most of the time, but the holes weren't exactly centered. They were tapered. It was just a mess. So the guy fixed them today. Now I'm going to show you where my problems come in. I assumed, and I fairly assumed that because this thing is dual disc, that these spacers were going to be the exact same on each side. Boy, was I wrong. They are. There's that difference. There's that difference, boys, and I can tell you right now exactly, now that I've done it, where this difference is. It's okay. You can see there, part of the axle, this spacer here, even the picture in the manual, it's not all the way up against the fork because this is bigger around. That little piece of axle there, I don't know if you guys can see or not. I'm trying. That little piece of axle there is a bigger diameter than what the actual axle is. So the difference is going to be this side needs to be a hair longer, and you can see proof of that. Let me show you where. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. If you see there, the caliper's not going in there. I measured it, it's 0.18, 0.18 inch, and then this side, there's too much of a gap, right? Man, this focus is awful, I'm sorry. So, we're gonna have to order another spacer. I'm not gonna have the machinist make it that did the first one. There it is. There's a difference. On this side, I need 0.18 inch more, right? And on this side, I've got 0.22 inches too much. Some of that is gonna be because I roll the dice on the rotor spacers. I think that's gonna be fine because I got washers we're gonna use as shims, very thin washers. And we're gonna use those, probably end up using them on the side that has too much of a gap. So let me take this back apart, because why not, right? Take that back apart, measure that spacer over there on what I have to begin with, and then I'm gonna order a spacer, but I'm gonna order it from somewhere else. I don't know where I'm gonna get it from, but I need it custom made, so son of a bitch. I'm not gonna film that. I'm very irritated today. But you know, I wasn't recording already. I thought, hey, let's make this a surprise and just come back on the camera and now it's fixed and I'm riding it, blah, 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 but no dice. So anyway, yeah, we'll see you later. All right, boys, that's gonna wrap this one up. This bike, it feels like it just refuses to be fixed. Now, I can already hear some people, you should have just taken it somewhere. Yeah, if I just wanted it fixed, yeah. But I also like, what do I call it? The process of discovery. I like learning how to do this stuff, right? And all the little trials and tribulations that come with it. But, so I did measure, that spacer was 1.44 inches. I wanted 0.18 additional. It turns out that's 1 5/8 inches when you add them all together. So that same company, Vulcanworks, whatever they're called, they had that spacer. They already have it, 1 5/8 inches, and it's $10. I paid $16 for 2-day shipping. Fingers crossed it gets here like Tuesday or Wednesday. And man, I hope that's the last step. I hope we'll find out. So at some point we're getting there. Light at the end of the tunnel. I can feel it. I sense it. Anyway, I appreciate you coming along for this video and all videos. And until next time, we'll see you later.